Hello everyone, my name is Yoon. I'm from class 17 SBI01. My faculty is Foreign Language Teacher Education and I am currently a senior year student major in English Teaching and Training. Today, I'm going to present my scientific report with the topic an investigation into the practice of extensive reading among students in Leguidong High School for the Gifted. The field of the study focuses on teaching methodology. Now let's get started. My talk will be in 4 parts. First, rationale, then literature review, next, research methodology, and then discussion of findings, and finally I will provide conclusions and suggestions. Let's move to the first part, rationale. According to a survey conducted by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, each Vietnamese only reads 0.8 books on an average. This figure is much lower when compared with other nations in the region such as Malaysian and Singaporean, where people read 10 to 20 books per year, and this number is expected to rise continually. This shows that Vietnamese reading culture is on the edge of alarming, which mitigates the love of reading among high school students. One of the obvious reasons for this is because the learning environment at high schools in Vietnamese context does not help to develop the habit of reading. In addition, because students are easily distracted by several entertaining activities, they are more likely to spend most of their time on cell phones. Another factor that should be taken into consideration is that Vietnamese learning environment is an exam-oriented one, in which texting strongly affects learners' motivation and learners' learning styles. The aim of the study is to find out the students' perception and practice of ER in EFL context at Leguidong High School for the Gifted. To realize the aim of the objects are set to firstly to investigate students' and teachers' perception of ER in EFL, to explore the practice of ER among students in Leguidong High School for the Gifted, and finally to propose effective suggestions for implementing ER in EFL at Leguidong High School for the Gifted. The study aims to identify these following questions. Firstly, what is Leguidong students' and teachers' perception of ER in EFL? How is ER in EFL is practiced in Leguidong High School, and how should the practice of ER be enhanced at Leguidong High School? As regards to the definitions of ER, there are quite a few ones. Day and Bamford define ER in a second language as an approach to teaching and learning of second language reading, in which learners read large quantities of books and other materials that are well within their linguistic competence. Similarly, other studies, Richard Smith in 2002 considered ER as the activities of reading in quantities to gain a general understanding what is need to read from a broader perspective. Mali in 2009 provides a careful description of ER. Accordingly, ER is reading for pleasure and information frequently in a great deal of materials and a wide variety of topics, with students' choices of books indicated the reading motivation of one class was fostered, while other class reading amount was comparatively greater, with less improvement in reading motivation. Another research is from Brahma Kusuma in 2018. This research is entitled Students' Perception on the Implementation of Extensive Reading at the English Language Education Department. The results of the research revealed that ER offered 4 obvious advantages for students as they gain pleasure, cultivate creativity, enhance language skill, and increase knowledge. The research is in Vietnam. According to Nguyễn Thị Nhuần, her study reveals that Vietnamese university students currently have no or little ER experience, and most of them are facing trouble in choosing reading materials of their own interest and reading level. A study of students' difficulties in ER in Hanoi Pedagogical University conducted by Trần Thị Thanh Hương, the pre-service teachers under the guideline of the lecturer applied ER in studying English 3 months ago. The researcher investigated that the obstacles and challenges were when experiencing this application during this class. The significance of the study is that a few studies on the subjects who are high school students and in the context of Vietnam school education. So in this study, this will focus on these points. The study is carried out using quantitative research method to collect data. Regarding the questionnaire, 16 queries are designed to question Leguidong High School students about perception and practice of ER. Subsequently, there is a questionnaire survey for teachers to have deep insights into students' perception, benefits, difficulties, and of organizing ER in English classes. Moreover, both teachers and students might suggest some recommendation for implementing ER to encourage students in reading in English. The population data for this research is nearly 110 high school students at Leguidong High School for the Gifted. Additionally, 11 Leguidong English teachers are selected to participate in the questionnaire. So, 110 high school students partake in this investigation. In terms of their grades they are in, 70% of the students are in grade 10, 20 students grade 11, and only 15 students grade 12 tried the survey. The analysis of data regarding favorite types of reading material is divided into two parts, namely non-fiction books and fiction books. As can be seen in the table, that with 20% of choice, humor and commentary are students' favorite non-fiction type materials. They also show interest in historical non-fiction with 15%, followed by academic texts such as math and science with 14% of the data. Regarding fiction books, sci-fi has the list with 30% of the participants, while no chooses historical romance. They also share that mystery and crime and romance are very popular to them. Overall, it does seem that throughout two tables above, it is witnessed that fiction texts are more popular to youngsters than non-fiction one. In particular, one of the most well-known comedy books to Vietnamese students is Diary of Wimpy Kid, because it is fairly easy to read and it does encourage the love of reading. In this book material, there are not so many difficult words to look up in the dictionary, and the book also includes pictures so that students can easily understand the contents and improve their English. The most accessed sci-fi book is The Little Prince, has the easy content to read and the reading level is not challenging at all, which help readers what students' response to the survey. It is classified 3 categories of comprehension level when reading in English. To be more specific, they are independent level, means that you can read with full comprehension and little use of dictionary. Instructional level, you can read comfortably with assistance in word recognition and comprehension. And the last one, frustration, you have difficulties in the language of the reading material. 50% of the respondents claim that they are in instructional level, which reveals that high school students are able to read in English in an acceptable speed. Nevertheless, the percentage of students who feel frustrated and need more additional support when reading in English comprises 31.4% of the data, and these students show their confidence in reading English materials without difficulty. Are asked to rank 3 reasons in order of reason from 1 from the most important reason, 2 for the second, and 3 for the third in the box given. The results find out that most students think that reading English materials could best help them enhance knowledge and literacy on a general level. The second important factors belong to the fact that they find reading in English useful for their future career, and they can also acquire a wider range of vocabulary. Finally, the third importance of reading English reading is that it can help learners with other academic subjects. The researcher analyzes the question which asked participants why they lack the motivation of reading in English. The results shows that most students mentioned lack of time as the most obvious reason why they cannot read English materials too often. It indicates that time plays a crucial role in English reading of high school learners. Moreover, in the second place given for not reading English were their limited level of comprehension and students not knowing what to read in English. Most of the teachers agree that ER has made a positive and beneficial impact on the students' second language learning. Therefore, they could recommend that ER should be implemented in the EFL classrooms for high school students to improve learners' proficiency. More specifically, 80% teachers agree that students can develop their vocabulary when they read extensively. Moreover, it is reported that 75 teachers think that reading extensively can improve students' spelling mistakes, as they are continuously exposed to many familiar words, and students would feel more confident when they do not have to read a text word by word and can concentrate factors to organize extensive reading activity among high school teachers. Strikingly, 90% of teachers think that they should give clear language learning objectives before implementing an extensive reading class, as students need to understand what to do and complete in each reading task. 85 teachers claim that students need to focus on text difficulties such as complexity, vocabulary, and context of each type reading. Additionally, 80% of the respondents agree that a sustainable funding for reading materials and teachers' role contribute to the success. Are provided a table of ER activities which can be organized at class, and they are asked which type of activities are frequently used by teachers. It can be clearly seen that reading and sharing books holds the highest percentage of the activities mentioned, whereas only 2% students join in the usual logs activities. Ranked in the second and third place are SSR and book interview with 21.6% and 19.6% correspondingly. What is more, the high school learners share that the teachers regularly implement ER according to specific special holidays such as Halloween and Christmas. Students who choose other options such as
a wide variety of reading activities that teachers often apply in English classes. So here are some proposed activities that teachers often do. First, organize morning game, introducing a short story every day to the students. Organize an English books day to the accessible places such as libraries and bookshops, translating and teaching the pronunciation, or organizing a talk show. It can be obviously that all teachers agree to organize a book club to create environment for the learners to encourage them to choose what books they should purchase, talk about their favorite books and share them with each other, writing recommendation. What's more, teachers think schools and other educational institutions should be responsible for providing education with useful materials. Institutions or educational organizations are really aware of ER. Lack of time limits most students' frequency of reading English books. ER improves learners' reading comprehension, vocabulary acquisition, and structural grammar, and motivates learners to read further in the second language. It does demonstrate that students and teachers are well aware of difficulties they encounter while teaching and studying in second language. Integrating ER with intensive reading program in the EFL classrooms might provide additional benefits so as to promote the learner. The following websites offer free access in reading materials. They cover a range of text types and genres to suit a variety of interests. Firstly, English e-reader offers online fictional readers with 8 different reading levels, A1 to C2. Second, Common Lit requires you to recreate an account and share code with your friends. In return, students get access to a massive library and well-designed interactive activities to help them with their reading. Third, 5 Minutes Mystery offers short 5 minutes mysteries for students to read and solve. Students do not need to sign in though. And last one, the Short Story Project provides short stories written by authors. Finally, the limitations of the study are mentioned below. Firstly, it is impossible to conduct a research on a good number of high schools in Da Nang City because of time constraint. Secondly, the results may be different if it is implemented in other schools. Not all of students have a chance to read a lot due to the lack of materials or input. And finally, it is quite difficult to find teachers who were specialized in ER because some of them declined to do the survey because they are not very clear about the topic. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.